What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Tutorials. It is your boy Cheeseburger Eddie, and as always, hope you guys are having a fantastic day. In today's episode, we're going to cover everything in relation to enchantments, what you can enchant, what max level enchantments are for each item, and so much more. So let's get right into it by talking about which items you're going to need. In this chest, everything you need for enchantments: a crafting table, planks of wood, paper, leather, which make books. You need 4 pieces of obsidian, you need 2 diamonds, a book for that enchantment table, an anvil, and some lapis lazuli for your enchantments in the enchantment room. So let's go ahead and talk about how you make your enchantment table. Obviously, you can click on the icon on the left screen if you're on bedrock, but what we're going to do is just put 4 pieces of obsidian in this formation with 2 diamonds on either side and a book on top, and that makes your enchantment table, boom, easy as pie. Now, the enchantment table by itself is not going to do much for you. It's going to give you a very basic enchantment, because there's no bookshelves around it to power it up. So you want to make sure, instead of just using this and putting lapis and getting the level 1 or whatever it is that you're going to get, make sure to make some bookshelves. How you're going to do that is make some books. All you got to do is put paper in an L shape like so, or just click on the icon on the left screen, put some leather in the top, that makes your book, and then put your books in the middle row, and then cover that on both sides with oak wood planks or whatever wood you got. That'll make yourself some bookshelves. Now, you're going to need a minimum of 15 bookshelves to get the max level enchantments, and they can be in any formation. They just have to be surrounding the actual table. So you can fill those corners up, and that would be actually a little bit easier. Or you can go 2 levels high of bookshelves, but if you go 3 levels, it's not going to count those for the level enchantment. So again, as you can see, we didn't get the level 30. If we put a diamond sword in there with some lapis, it's only a level 14 right now, and that's only because we have, I think, 7 bookshelves so far. So if we fill in these corners or just go up another level, this will be 14 bookshelves. And as you can see, if we put our sword back in with some lapis lazuli, we're now at 28. But again, the max level is 30, so we need to put 1 more bookshelf surrounding this thing, not on the 3rd level, because this 3rd level is not going to count. So this, you can go as high as you want, really, just for the looks, but this is not going to do anything for your actual enchantments, because if we put that sword back in, as you can see, it's still at level 28. So what you're going to need to do again is put it forward and make a door. See, the first layer and the second layer are the only ones that matter. So now we have over 15 bookshelves surrounding it, and as you can see now, we have level 30. Boom. We are good to go. Now, the first step in doing this is obviously you can just put your weapons, your armor, or even your books inside this enchantment table and get your max level, or you just get regular enchantments. The luckiest you're going to get is maybe 2 or 3 enchantments, and maybe some of them will be, obviously, max level. But what you're going to want to make sure you do is also enchant some books, because the way you're going to enchant books is that you can actually go over to an anvil and make it a little bit easier on yourself to get that max level and guarantee yourself that max level. So if you can combine all these books, you can get yourself a max level book. So what you can do is put a level 1 with a level 1 and make it level 2. You can put a level 2 and a level 1 and it won't do anything. The reason why is because you have to have at least the same level book with itself to go to the next level. So a level 2 and a level 2 make a level 3, a level 3 and a level 3 make a level 4, and so forth and so on. Now, you can also combine different enchantments such as sharpness and protection, and it will make a completely different book, but with both enchantments. So then when you put your sword or whatever it is, I guess you can't put sharpness and protection on an item, but if it was sharpness and smite, or sharpness and looting, something that works for the sword, it would work for this particular case. Now, as far as the anvil is concerned, you can only do 6 enchantments on 1 item in this thing before it says it's too expensive. So we're also going to talk about which enchantments you can add and which ones you should add for that case for each item. But for this one, we're just going to add all these different ones. And as you can see, once we get to that 6th enchantment, we can no longer enchant the book or enchant the sword, because now we have enchanted the item 6 times. And even though we should be able to add 1 more or one of the other enchantments, it's not going to work for us, because it's going to either be too expensive or because we're doubling up on something that's not going to allow it to enchant. So from that end, let's go ahead and show you the pickaxe real quick. I wanted to just show you guys, if we went into our enchantment table first and got lucky enough to get a max level enchantment from this. So Unbreaking 3, that's a max level enchantment. Ooh, and Efficiency 4, that's actually a pretty good enchantment. But we got one of the max level enchantments from the enchantment table. We should be able to put the rest of the enchantments on via the anvil. So that's the highest recommendation I can give you, is if you have max amount of levels, go ahead and enchant in the enchantment table first, and then follow that up with the actual anvil enchanting, because then you'll give yourself all the opportunity to get every max level enchantment you can without it becoming too expensive. And just keep in mind that it is going to be costing you a ton of levels to do this, but if you check out the channel, we have some XP farms that are completely OP and they work so very well. So make sure you give those a check, and you'll have all the opportunity to get these enchantments on your items in your Minecraft world. So just showing you again, if we add it one by one, we can get all these enchantments on it, and boom, that thing is looking right. That is a god pickaxe going forward. But again, I recommend going to the enchantment table first and then going to the anvil. Now, let's talk about real quick every single item that you can add, or every single enchantment that you can add on each item. And I'm not going to talk over these things. I'm just going to let you guys view them because there's just a lot of repeating ones, very similar ones. The helmet and the leggings, or the helmet and the boots actually have some cool ones, such as Respiration, Aqua Infinity, and the boots have like Feather Falling, Frostwalker, cool ones. But if you see them stacked on top of each other in the chest, that means you cannot add those two together, because you have to do one or the other. So for example, for a sword, you can't do Smite and Sharpness and Bane of Arthropods. You have to pick one of the three. So Bane of Arthropods, which I don't think anyone should ever use, or you can use Smite, or you can use Sharpness. And for this particular example, Frostwalker or Deathstrider. You can't use both, you have to use one or the other. And so again, for the sword, or for this particular item, as you can see, you can pick any one of these: Sharpness, Smite, or Bane of Arthropods. You can't use all three, but then you can add the other ones. And again, if it's over 6 enchantments, you're gonna have to, pray that you get a max level via the actual enchantment table first. So again, enchantment table first, then you go to the anvil to add the other items. Now, a couple other things I wanted to touch base on really quickly are everything that you can enchant. Again, we're going over everything right now, but armor, tools, weapons, and books. The easiest way to get the max level enchantments is to just enchant books, because they're pretty simple to make, pretty simple to get combined, but it will be expensive. And then lapis lazuli, obviously so important. You got to make sure you have a ton of lapis. So just go mining for a little while, and if you can get yourself at least a stack of lapis, that'll last you a little while, and you're good to go on that end. Now, the other ways that you can actually get enchanted items or enchanted books or enchanted whatever in this game of Minecraft is through a villager who you trade enchanted items for with emeralds, or whatever else. You can trade emeralds and books, or whatever it is that they're asking. You can get it through fishing. So if you just fish randomly and you find some enchanted items or enchanted books, and then you can actually get a 8.5% chance of a drop from a zombie, a drowned, a husk, a piglin, a skeleton, a stray, a wither skeleton, or a zombified piglin. So you can get an 8.5% chance of an enchanted item dropping from those particular characters or mobs. And then the other way is going to an end city. You can obviously find the assorted treasure chests via the shipwrecks, whatever it is. You can find all those particular things, and you're most likely going to find some enchanted books. But you can also find them in shipwrecks, mineshaft, dungeons, desert temples, jungle temples, woodland mansions, ocean ruins, strongholds, ruined portals, bastion remnants. And then obviously you can also even get them by killing pillagers and or vindicators, which once in a while you'll see them. But I mean, again, the most efficient way of actually doing this is just going to your enchantment table, using your anvils, and getting all your books enchanted. It's the simplest way of doing it. And if you have an XP farm like we have, then this is never going to be a problem for you. But wanted to show you real quick in the channel, if you have yourself a bartering farm or a villager trading farm, you can actually get a bunch of librarian villagers, which are just used with regular villager and a lectern. A lectern will make them go into a librarian, and you can actually just get this going together. And as you can see, you can get everything you need for an enchantment table, but you can also get some enchanted books. And I actually got a couple of good ones from this. I got a mending book, I got an infinity book, looting, as you can see. And this is just all you got to do if you want to keep trying this, is create more villagers and more lecterns, or you can just destroy the actual lectern and reset them to get a new list of items that they're going to trade you for. So that is the number one way that I again say. This is the number 2 way I'd say about going about it. I want to just go around and keep searching for rare items. But if you go into the enchantment room, if you go ahead and get it enchanted for that max level enchantment, that'll give you a pretty good chance at getting everything you want. So for example, for a sword enchantment, you want to get at least 1 or 2 max level enchantments. Then we're going to go to our sword chest right here, and we're going to try to add all of these via the anvil. And again, you're only allowed 6 enchants or 6 additions via the anvil. So there's 1, there's 2, and we got to double up, so that's not going to work. There's 2, and then there's 3, and then there's 4. And again, you want to make sure you got as much levels as you can, because these are going to cost you quite expensive, and especially as repairing. Repairing is a whole other conversation, but it is very difficult to do because it's going to cost you a ton of XP, and it's just going to be even more bothersome. So just make sure you got as much as you can. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you guys have any questions, comments, make sure you leave them down below, and we will see you in the next one. Take it easy, everybody. Peace.